What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films, and I am back with my recap and review of Season 2, Episode 3 of Put a Ring on It. Hey, put a ring on it. Y'all know the theme song at this point. We're 3 episodes in, and y'all, this hair is just not cooperating. It's okay.
Hey, Sister Girl on Films, you don't want to miss a thing. Better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey.
So the episode starts with Dr. Nicole. Well, first and foremost, we get a recap of the end of last week, and we know that Darian is definitely going on a second date with his second girlfriend, Kai. Alexia, of course, is not feeling that because she feel like all these dates is starting to look like a whole relationship, and she ain't wrong, honey, because he sure acting like he got a whole nother girlfriend, but we're going to get to that later. So Dr. Nicole lets the couples know that this week, the challenge will be for them to go on a date at the same time as their significant other. So of course the couples are not feeling that, especially insecure Sean, honey.
I'm not confident that Sean can actually handle being in the same room with me.
And I'm not confident in myself. So I'm glad we're on the same page with something.
He is all just, I'm not feeling this. This ain't, boy, that's what you signed up for. You better feel it, honey. Feel it and like it. And Dr. Nicole was like, you know, this will be a test of your trust and your insecurity and your relationship and your jealousy. So we know that trust is the issue for almost all of these couples. Insecurity is definitely an issue for Sean, honey. And yeah, jealousy is just gonna be a whole lot, y'all. Some of the people in the couples handle this well, some don't. Okay, but we're gonna get right into who does and who don't. Okay. So first up, as always, we love to start at Jessica and Eric's house. And Jessica, again, is serving looks. She has on this all black bodysuit. Looks very good. Y'all don't know if her booty is real. It look good, though. But, okay, anyway. So Eric this week was so chill, y'all. He was just like, I don't know what transpired between last week and this week, but this week he is like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm not gonna trip. She can do what she needs to do in this process. I'm just gonna enjoy myself. So he was cool. You know, her date came over to pick her up. Eric was fine with it. She was like, we gonna race to the door this time? He's like, nah, babe, you got it. I'm gonna sit right here on my little couch. I said, I like this part of Eric. I like him a little toned down. I'm here for it. He still gave me granddaddy uncle vibes, but cool granddaddy uncle vibes this time. And so Jessica's date is Clarence.
I'm a pro bodybuilder, very, very athletic. You know, I'm overall just funny and entertaining guy. And I'm looking for a woman who's energetic, charismatic, and is really open to having a good time.
And Clarence is yet another professional bodybuilder, and he's just looking for connection and, you know, just trying to find love like all these people allegedly are trying to do with these dates. And I liked Clarence, y'all. He was really respectful. Jessica was walking up the stairs in front of him, and he did not look at her booty. He was very respectful to Eric. You know, he shook his hand. They had a small chit chat back and forth. They dapped each other up, and Jessica was like, oh, I like this. I said, girl, you see the polyamorous relationship wheels turning in your head? Because I would have. Okay, I like both of y'all. Can we all be a throuple? They didn't say that was not a thing, and I feel like that's something that happened last season. So I'm just saying, she can have 2 boyfriends. Darian got 2 girlfriends. Anyway, so as Jessica's getting ready to leave with Clarence, she gives Eric a hug, and Clarence glances at her butt real quick. He checks himself. He looks away. I said, this man is respectable. I like him.
Love you.
Love you too.
That was a tight little grip there, brother. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And so they head off to their date. Next, we have LaRonda and Sean. Child. Sean, I really want to like him. I do, but he gets on my nerves. Y'all, I can't stand an insecure man. I really cannot. You need to be secure, especially if you're dating a woman that is as beautiful as LaRonda, has a vibrant personality as LaRonda. Like, appears to be a whole catch. And you're on a show where you're testing your relationship. I need you to get it together. Jesus. So Sean looks at LaRonda's outfit, and again, he's trying to control her. And it's like, well, why are you wearing that? Ain't it a little short?
You wearing that?
Why am I wearing what? A dress to a date?
It looks short.
Looks can be deceiving.
Y'all, her dress was, I mean, it was a little short, but it wasn't like, are you on your way to P-Valley to make a couple dollars short? You know, it was just regular old, you know, kind of like a little mini situation. It was cute. And then she had some really tall boots that didn't really go with the dress, in my opinion. But I think it might be cold. I don't know when they filmed this because her date had on a turtleneck sweater. Whole nother thing. Speaking of her date, LaRonda's date is a man named Sir James.
My name is Sir James. I'm 38 years old. I'm looking for a strong, independent woman who really knows what she wants, has a dope personality, loves to laugh because I'm silly as hell at all times.
And I don't remember what he said he did for a living, y'all. I'm sure he said, but I wasn't paying attention. But he said, you know, he's looking, you know, maybe in this process he might find love. You know, he's ready for a relationship because people nowadays really, you know, just about dating and not settling down. And he's 38 and he's ready, you know, to settle down. And so he tells, you know, LaRonda all of this while Sean is sitting there, obviously. And Sean is like, well, you ain't gonna find no love here, bruh. LaRonda was like, oh my God. She was like, babe, you never know. This is what this whole process is about.
At the end of the day, you never know where you're gonna find love at.
You ain't gonna find me here.
We never know. This is what the dates are for, baby.
And Sean was just, I feel like Sean was intimidated by Sir. Sir came in, even though he wasn't in the best shape, in my opinion. You know, I could see his man boobs through his turtleneck sweater. LaRonda was feeling it. He's very handsome in the face, though. Like, I was like, okay, I like what they putting down. LaRonda liked it. And Sean, you know, made a lot of comments about his physique. You know, he called him a superhero. You know, said, you know, he was tall, you know, he was strong, he might be a linebacker, all this other stuff. And I'm like, boy, your insecurity is showing.
They be dating a linebacker, you know, or he a superhero, low-key. Probably got a couple of tackles, but guess what? He ain't tackling nothing tonight.
And then, so when Sean, y'all, I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. But when Sean led Sir into the house, he introduced LaRonda. He's like, and this is my queen, the love of my life, LaRonda. I'm like, boy.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
So this is my queen, my baby, the love of my life, LaRonda. And this is your date.
Nice to
You ain't do all of this with singing John last week, so why are you doing all this with Sir? Because you insecure and you worried about Sir this time. That's all I'm saying. So then the next scene, we have LaRonda and Sir at their date. Looks like they're having a good time. You know, they're just having good conversation. You know, she talks about how she feels like he's really attractive. And, you know, they're just talking about, you know, what they're looking for in relationships. And he talks about how, you know, he's ready for a family and to settle down, which, you know, that's what LaRonda wants. And that's what Sean is kind of making her wait for because he's not financially stable or emotionally stable at this point that we have learned. So she's feeling the vibe. You know, they're taking shots and all that, enjoying themselves. And then we get a shot of Brittany, who is Sean's date, walking up. And the minute I saw her, I said, oh, he's going to like her. That is his type.
My name is Brittany, and I am a professional singer. I am loving and caring and funny. And I think I'm, you know, not too bad to look at.
She's a beautiful, melanated sister. She got braids. She didn't have no bra on, so her titties was just going to and fro. You know, she presented well. You know, I liked her dress. She introduced herself to Sean. You know, he was feeling it, and he was like, she's taller than me, you know, which I like and makes me feel like a boss. I said, oh, Jesus. Okay, sir. Calm down. You know, confidence is key. I ain't mad at it. Sean and Brittany sit down, you know, and Sean points out that, you know, LaRonda is his girlfriend, and Brittany was like, ooh, this is awkward. You know, but she was cool about it. You know, Sean immediately sat down and glared in LaRonda's direction, and she, you know, tried to just ignore him and focus all her attention on Sir, which she should have did. And so Brittany asked Sean, you know, when's your birthday? And he said December, I think 8th or something like that. She's like, oh, you're a Sagittarius. He's like, yeah. She was like, I'm a Capricorn. He's like, okay, with the vocals you sing? I said, boy, you, look, you act like she did a rendition of the Star Spangled Banner Whitney style. All she said was, I'm a Capricorn. I could have did that. Brittany did confirm that she is a singer. And Sean, you know, was like, oh my God, another entertainer. So LaRonda and her date were just having too much fun for Sean. And so they got there before Sean and Brittany. So they were getting ready to leave. And so as they're leaving, Sean looks, you know, he watches them walk out. And Sir, you know, puts his hand kind of on the small of LaRonda's back. And that is a huge deal for Sean, y'all. He's pissed off now. And that took all his focus away from his date with Brittany. Blah, blah, blah. Boy, you wasn't focused anyway.
Like, get up close to her, like, put his hand on the small of her back.
Try to cut me off, yeah.
My bad. Thank you.
So then the next scene, we have Darian and his other girlfriend, Kai, riding in a car on their way to whatever restaurant they're going to. And, you know, he just gives her a heads up. You know, today's challenge is going to be that Alexia is going to be at the same restaurant with her date. And, you know, and Kai is like, what? That is so messy. And then in her solo interview, Kai talks about how, you know, she's in this process and she understands it's tough for them, but she ain't nobody's side bitch, and she ain't never been nobody's side chick, and if he want to be with her, he needs to be with her, but he ain't gonna be with both of them. Girl, you are a professional side chick. Shut up.
I don't want to feel like a side. I'm not going to feel like a side chick. I don't play number two. I've never have, never will. It's either you're gonna be with me or you're gonna be with her.
We saw your side chick moves when you first met Darian. Girl, don't play with me. Maybe she just is totally committed to this process. And quiet as it's kept, y'all, don't tell Alexia I said this, but I kind of do think Darian and Kai might be a cute little couple. But I ain't gonna say that out loud. And Alexia, if you ever want to jump Kai, let me know. It could be a what? Girl fight. I'm just saying. Anyway, so the editing was kind of weird. I don't know why we jumped from Darian and Kai and then we jumped back to Jessica and Eric and their dates, but whatever. That's what the show did. So we have Jessica and Clarence. And y'all, that date was alright. You know, it's kind of boring. I feel like low-key Jessica's kind of boring. And I think that's kind of what Eric has been saying. You know, when he's talking about her conversations and communication, there's no depth, all that stuff. The girl is boring, okay? But I liked Clarence. I did. He really gave me like grown man vibes. You know, he was asking her some good questions. You know, what's your spotlight? What makes you an individual person? And she said her genuineness. She's a very genuine person. And Clarence was like, oh, and you must have a big heart too. Like the way they edited and cut and spliced their conversation together was really weird. I don't know if maybe they didn't have a whole lot to work with because she's about as shallow as a kiddie pool or what. But the editing for their conversation was odd to me. But we have Eric's date, whose name is Tynesha.
My name is Tynesha. I'm looking for a guy who is funny, charismatic, who can challenge my mind, and who is very independent.
And she's a really pretty girl. She is really curvy. Automatically, I was like, she's probably not gonna be Eric's type because she's a little more full figure girl, but she's super pretty. And I feel like she has a really good personality. And with Eric being, you know, just open to the process a lot more this week, I feel like he's probably gonna have a really good time on this date. And sure enough, he did. You know, him and Tynesha sat down. They were having drinks. They were having good conversation. And he seemed a lot more relaxed on this date than he was in that first date with, I think her name was Sasha or whatever.
I didn't think I was going to handle it this way. I was able to enjoy myself without even knowing my partner was there.
And it was bothering the hell out of Jessica. And at one point, she said to Clarence, so what do you think about, you know, a certain person over here? And Clarence was like, oh, I forgot he was even here. Because he's not pressed, ma'am. This is your relationship, not him. He don't care.
So what you think about somebody being over there?
Actually, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
And then so eventually, Jessica, you know, says she's ready to go. And as her and Clarence are leaving, she's like, you know, I thought that Eric would turn around, you know, and watch me leave, but he just didn't even care. No, baby, because Eric was having him a good time with Tynesha. And I feel like the vibe that him and Tynesha had was very much like that. This is my homeboy, this is my homegirl, you know, ain't no sexual chemistry, none of that. We just having drinks, good conversation, having a good time. That was the vibe I got from them. I feel like they confirmed it a little bit later in the episode, but let's get to the mess, child. So we got Darian and Kai walking hand in hand into the restaurant again. I'm so sick of them holding hands. Look, y'all. Holding hands to me is very intimate. To me, it is very like personal. I don't hold hands with just anybody. If I go on a date with somebody, I'm not holding your hand. I'm just not a big touchy-feely person. But if I hold your hand, you know, that's a big sign. To me, that means like protection, showing unity, showing a little bit of like, you know, we are together as a couple. We are a unit. And the fact that Kai and Darian be holding hands, it bothers the hell out of me. And we're going to see that it bothers Alexia in a second, honey. So Alexia's date, Desi, rolls up on her, and she's standing outside in the rain. And he like, oh, hey, what's up? She's like, hey. I said, girl, fix your face.
And another man, I know that he's going to be watching me.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Hey,
I'm Desi.
Alexia.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you?
Had some real serious resting bitch face. And so they go into the restaurant. Maybe she was that way because she wasn't really attracted to him. I don't know. But Alexia just, girl, off-putting. But Desi put his best foot forward, and he was really like trying to give it his all and flirt with her. And like I said, I wasn't really feeling his vibe. It was a little cringy to me. But I respected the fact that he was really trying to give it a chance.
I'm wearing mini hats.
I see. You got the one you got on. It's sexy too. Like, I like it.
Thank you.
And really, you know, flirt and give Alexia compliments and give her all his attention and all that good stuff. So when Dorian sees Alexia walk into the restaurant with Desi, he like, oh Lord. He talked about how, you know, it was just too much for him. He couldn't focus on Kai and all that, you know, and he asked, you know, Kai what she thought about it. She was like, this is so messy. I'm like, girl, you like mess. Shut up. So something that Dorian did that really kind of pissed me off even further is that he told Kai that Alexia was intimidated by her.
You intimidate her for some reason, so.
Why? Is it because I'm pretty?
No. She ain't no hater.
Because you like me?
She know what I like.
Sir, why would you say that? Like, you know your girl is like just not feeling this. You know how she feel about Kai. And so for him to tell Kai that he thinks Alexia is intimidated by her, just gave her the one up. Barf. Okay? Just barf. And then so Alexia, you know, talks about how she really couldn't focus on her date with Desi. Number one, she just wasn't feeling him. But also, because she kept hearing her name being brought up in the conversation with Dorian and Kai. So Darian just could not deal with, you know, being there and seeing Alexia with another man. So he's like, you know, I'm ready to go. And then so Kai, doing what they've been doing the last couple of dates, naturally grabs his hand. And Alexia's like, we're going to let hands go. We're going to let hands go.
We're going to let hands go. We're going to let hands go.
You see, so Kai laughed because Darian done already told her that Alexia is intimidated by her and continues to hold his hand and walk him out the door talking about, come on, come on. And Darian is like, I'm not holding her hand. She hold my hand. I know Alexia wanted to throw the salt container at their heads. And so her date, Desi, is like, you know, why you letting that bother you? You know, why you over? Boy, that's my man. Why you think? I know you in this process and you feel like you're trying to win me over, but the fact that you don't see why I'm upset about this, boy, get out of my face. And now our date is over. Check, please. Ciao. So after all that shenanigery, we see Eric and Jessica back at their house, and Jessica gets home before Eric. Obviously, she left before him, and he gets home to my honey, I'm home, drunk. Eyes is bloodshot red, honey. He had him a good time with Tynesha. And so Jessica's feeling away. She's like, what is all this? What's going on? What you done did? Nothing, girl. He just drunk. You can't tell your man is drunk. He looked drunk to me. And so, again, he talks about how he had such a great conversation with Tynesha and how he didn't even, it didn't bother him that Jessica and Clarence was in the restaurant because it was like Tynesha had him in a bubble.
I thought I was in an empty room.
Okay,
Like-
I just feel like you're taking it too far.
Like for real, like she had, like it felt like she had me in a bubble.
Oh, and he didn't even realize what was going on. I said, yeah, good conversation. We'll do that. And Jessica feeling a way about it, and she feel like, Eric is just doing too much. And then, he's like, these are the type of conversations I want to have with you. And Jessica feels like, well, I feel like we've had deep conversations. And he's like, I mean, not really. And then, so Jessica starts to cry a little bit. She like, well, all right, bet. And Erica's like, well, what does that mean? And she was just like, I mean, note taken. I'm like, girl, this is what he's talking about. This was a great opportunity for y'all to process it, have a conversation about it. What was it about her conversation, and have that deep conversation. And you just proved this point by talking about bet. Girl. And then the camera pans to her, pans back to him, pans back to her. I said, y'all show them one more damn time. We get it. Damn, we get it. It's drama. It's tension. And poor Eric just sitting there looking drunk and goofy, just staring like, I don't know what to say because I'm drunk. I can barely stand. All right. So then finally we get back to group with Dr. Nicole. And so each couple kind of goes over how their date was. And so we start off with Sean and LaRonda. And Sean, of course, was just, upset. He said he couldn't focus on his date with Brittany because he was so worried about LaRonda and Sir. And he talked about how, she couldn't have been attracted to him. She don't even like dudes, with muscles and cars and stuff like that.
I don't think she liked the dude that you brought for her this time. Like, I don't even think, you like dudes with big muscles.
Boy, what? What woman don't like those things in a man? You sound like a damn fool. So Dr. Nicole, asked Sean if he trusts LaRonda. He was like, yes, but she's like, He was like, yes, period. And so Dr. Nicole really just breaks it down that, Sean is making up all of these realities in his mind, and his filter is clouded. So whatever he wants the scenario to be, in his mind, that's what it's gonna be. And that's really why he does not trust LaRonda. And then so Dr. Nicole, it's like, you're diminishing this man, by, talking bad about him. And then you're also saying what he is or is not to LaRonda. And she's like, that sounds like a lot of tactical control methods. And I'm like, exactly.
Decision for her of who he's not to her sounds like tactical control action.
Manipulation. That's exactly what I said last week, because that's what Sean is. He's manipulative and he is controlling. Just because he has little man syndrome don't make him any less controlling. Y'all see this man crying and think, well, maybe he just want to be alone. Maybe he oversensitive. No, he's a manipulator, okay? Manipulator, okay? And so Dr. Nicole asked LaRonda, well, what do you think about Sir? She liked him. She said he was pleasing to the eye or something. She said, girl, just say the man was fine to you. She said he looked good. She liked the conversation. And, she was feeling it. And then Sean brings up the whole thing about him putting his hand, about Sir putting his hand on the smaller LaRonda's back. LaRonda's like, I didn't even realize he did it. And Sean is pissed off. And it's like, you think I'm going to believe you over my own eyes? I know what I saw. And she was like, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I didn't realize it was happening in the moment.
Know what I saw.
I was in front of him. I'm not saying he never reached over or out. Maybe he did. From my perspective and just trying to get out the door, I didn't feel anything.
Boy, bless LaRonda. I don't know how she deal with this fool, and I have a feeling they're going to stay together after this. He is a mess. So anyway, then we moved to Darian and Alexia, and Darian talked about how he couldn't focus on his date with Kai because he was too worried about Alexia. And Alexia, talked about, how she really wasn't feeling Desi. Like, he was cool, he was giving her compliments, and she liked that, but he really wasn't her type. And then she brought up the whole thing with Kai holding Darian's hand as they were leaving the restaurant, and how she felt like, they did that in her face. They was laughing at her. It was disrespectful. And Darian tried to downplay it. But, I mean, like I said earlier, y'all, to me, holding hands is a big deal. So I get why Alexia was mad. And last but not least, Eric and Jessica. And again, Eric talks about his date with Tynesha was great. He wasn't physically attracted to her, but the conversation was, awesome. And he loved that he was able to talk to her. And it was just a great experience for him. And Jessica talked about how much she liked Clarence. And, he was, a really good guy and a gentleman. And she really enjoyed their conversation as well. And then so when it was all said and done, Eric does not want to go on a second date with Tynesha because he wasn't physically attracted to her. And Jessica was like, you know, well, I feel like that's all he had to go on was communication because he wasn't physically attracted. It didn't make a whole lot of sense what she said. I guess she was trying to say if he had been physically attracted to her, then he would have wanted to go on a second date. But I'm like, yeah, girl, duh. That's how attraction works.
All he had to work with was conversation, was communication, because I put it on Eric that that's all he's into is looks.
Y'all not on the show to find best friends. Y'all on the show to see if you can find a romantic connection with another person. So that didn't make sense. I feel like she was trying to downplay Tynesha because she wasn't physically, I guess, to their standard of what beauty is. But again, I thought Tynesha was a very beautiful girl and she had a great personality. So I guess if Eric wasn't so shallow, he could have went on a second date with her. Jessica does want to go on the second date with Clarence, and she wants to give it a fair shot, and she really enjoyed her time with him, so she would kind of want to see where it goes, which we kind of figured that. And then Darian, of course, wants to go on another date with his girlfriend, Kai, because he feels like they didn't have a good, you know, date this time, and they messed up their vibe, and that's not fair to her. Fair to her. Negro, please. And Alexia wasn't feeling Desi. You know, he was cool, but, you know, she wasn't attracted to him. So she doesn't want to go on a second date with him. And then so we get our cliffhanger with Sean and LaRonda. Does Sean want to go on a second date with Brittany? Does LaRonda want to go on a second date with Sir? I think they will want to go on a second date with both of them. I think she likes Sir, and he was really feeling Brittany and didn't really give her a fair date because he was acting like an insecure little munchkin. So yeah, so that was the episode. You know, it was pretty good. Sean is really quickly becoming my least favorite because I can't stand an insecure man. It is not cute. And Darian needs to be punched in his throat. So let me know, y'all, in the comments below if you checked out this episode or put a ring on it. And let me know your thoughts and how you were feeling about it. My camera's acting crazy and I'm getting annoyed. So as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see y'all next time for something else. And I'm going to see y'all next week for episode 4. Thank y'all so much for your support. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Holla.
Sister girl on films.